another episode of On the Spot Watercolor. Apologize, we might have some outside noises going on a little bit. Hope that doesn't interfere with the video here. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've gotten back to the painting, but sorry, looking at my phone here. I have my little timer here so I know exactly what time. Yeah, so I was doing a project that was I felt very important, and you might have noticed if you are following my channel or subscribed. The bagel shop bear. It was very important. I keep saying I apologize for that. I gotta watch what I'm talking, how I'm talking. And sometimes I also notice that I drift off and start some conversation, or I'm saying something and I don't continue the sentence, so I apologize for that. Like I said, I did it again. Sorry. I'm learning. I am really learning. So with the on the spot, when I'm talking about the bagel shop bear, it was very important because the owner of the shop, she agreed that I would do the picture for her without any charge. And the only thing I'm asking in return is that she would display that. I made a little flyer, and that with a QR code, and people would be able to scan it and to look at the videos more. So trying to draw more interest into the channel, to the site, into what I'm doing, and hopefully it'll be. And also, I just feel like it's whatever I could do to help that business. I mean, they were struggling for a time. And as everybody in this whole pandemic has been really struggling. Sorry, shook the table a little bit. So I'm trying to think of a theme or a term that I want to do. Is called bear, helping businesses help each other. That's kind of what I was thinking of, brainstorming in my mind of. So Bear is the character. I'll call him Bear. I know it's kind of generic, but it kind of makes sense. Bear, Bear, and they called him Coffee Shop Bear, Pizza Bear. I had Golfing Bear. So if you haven't watched those channels, I encourage you to. Pizza Bear is a fun one. One of my first ones I actually did on here. Golfing Bear was just recent. Kind of went under the radar. I haven't really noticed it. People. It's starting to get more views. And of course, Coffee Shop Bear. I've been telling a lot of people about that one, and actually that one has exceeded over 100 views, and I'm really proud of that one. And I thank you for all those who subscribed to my channel. If anyone you're new, you just recently subscribed. This is what I do in my episode of On the Spot, is where we're going to paint the painting, a robot. So eventually I'm going to get to the painting if I stop yapping. Again, I apologize for any outside noises out there. Hope it doesn't interfere with the recording here, what we're doing. Kind of gives a little ambiance, of a robot noise and world. So again, these do take a while, to be honest. I mean, I was adding up all the videos together. It's probably not even an hour, a little over an hour if it is. I mean, per each video, times vary. At least one was 21 minutes. I had one that was 13, one was, 16 minutes. So in reality, these pictures would take quite a while to do. I mean, hours, months, weeks or whatever. But so doing this within a short period of time, that's the nice thing about time lapse, is when you see it happening all really quickly. But in reality, that might have took several hours to do. I mean, it did take quite a while for the bagel shop bear, because there was just so much involved in the detail. And then I didn't actually go in her shop and take pictures of it, because I just didn't want to. There's people in there and stuff. And they really do keep social distancing in that place. So they really have, watched what they're doing, and I just didn't want to take pictures. I just kind of kept it by visual memory, so as close as possible, because they've had to rearrange or do things differently because of the coronavirus and the way they're. And so it looks a little different. So I'm trying to go back to where it kind of was, before this whole thing. So, okay, so I did draw out, if you notice, so I don't know if you could pick it up on the picture here, I did draw out the body, the chest. So we're going to actually go through, I was actually just going to do the bust of it, but this seems to me that it was so, the way I started the painting, it was like this part be left without anything going on. So I just want to kind of, you feel like you be not making use of your paper. And again, you might have noticed my videos, you asked me what colors I'm using. I wish I had a better answer for you guys. It's not that I don't care, or it's like I'm not acting like I don't care to. It's just that I tend to blend the colors, and I know it would be instructional if I was to show you what colors to get. Probably find as close to a turquoise color as you can get. I believe that's what I'm using right now, is more of a turquoise, and then I go back to the blues. But reality is I mix the colors so much to where I can't. It did start out with that one color, but then it changes. So okay. And I do work pretty dry, but of course you can't go completely dry, because you gotta have enough to blend your colors. And you might notice in my videos, my time-lapse ones, especially if I just watch the bagel shop bear, I do have times where I do go a little wetter. But what I'm saying is I don't really work wet. I don't go into full. I don't go like wet on wet, like some watercolor artists do. So I do. I tend to have more control over how the paint goes on when I don't. And I'm not putting it down if you guys want to do that really wet. I probably will one day really try to do that. I think it'd be great to experiment on. It's just when I'm doing these robots, you don't want the color to go, you want to have a little bit of control. And then right there, I just went right into the yellow of the visor. Yeah, that's the only thing you gotta be kind of careful of if you don't want it to be too green. You're using yellows around here. It's a little precarious because you start having more a green look if you don't want a green look. And I have started using different colors. I do. You would have to take a mixture of colors too. I pull a little bit from the green. I notice I do have some greens in here. I do have even some red, even some purple. So I'm kind of trying to take in all the colors that might be around the robot. So like right here, I'm just pulling a little green. And sort of gives it a little more shape, a little more bulk to the metal, as if you were, if you look at something like a car, this is kind of different than a car, because a car is usually one color, but I'm looking kind of more of a machine, or like a metal that would reflect a lot of different colors on it. You want that sense of shape that you want to get. You don't want it to look flat. That's what I'm trying to get that I'm moving away from being flat to having a 3D, because reality of painting is flat. Paper, you're trying to create that illusion of depth or shape. And the way I do it is, I pull from different colors. I have been just mainly using one color right now, so. And I do move all over the place. I don't really, I learned in the past, if I stay in one area too long, you kind of overwork an area. You gotta move along. You gotta just kind of, and I've done that before too easily. I just worked one section to the point where you've overdone it. And sometimes you just have to step back from that area, from that wherever you're working at, and you just have to go. I find that great advice if you are painting or an artist, you're struggling in a certain area of your painting, go on to something else. Go on to another part of the painting. Don't sit there and stress over that area, that too much, because especially with watercolor, adding too much paint, adding too much water can definitely cause some problems for you. And that's what I think people are running into. People compliment me and say, oh, well, it's really good, you could do watercolor. And I said, well, you could do it in time. And it just does take time, it takes patience. And I hope through these videos that I may be giving you guys a glimpse of what I do. And I'm not fully going into this saying, hey, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to do this. You're just walking with me. This is what I'm doing. So that's kind of the approach I have. I'm not exactly, I don't feel like I'm giving you full instruction on this, I just feel like I am partly, but then I'm also at the same time just doing it with you. You're following along with my progress here. So sort of a reality talk something paint show, So, and I do appreciate all you guys who've been watching the videos. I really have appreciated it. I keep track of especially these long ones. I wasn't sure if how many people are going to be interested in that, and they are, and you are. I mean, so it just gives me such encouragement when I see people that are viewing my videos or subscribing or putting a like on the video or whatever. It just gives me a little, just like an incentive to do more, to create more. Again, bear with me with this one. It is a process. It takes time. Like I said, it could take hours. It could take days to do this. And some of those pieces you might see on my ageofrobotica.com, www.ageofrobotica.com. It took. I was really, honestly, I was starting to do. I don't know how I did it actually. I went through. I mean, it was about a year or two. I took 2 years. I produced, and I wasn't talking in the middle of them, or I wasn't even documenting as much as the scans. But I mean, the time it took to do all those videos, do those images. And I still want to get back to those kind of style, especially when you're doing a landscape or adding the robots along with a scene. It's like it's a challenge. And I love challenge. I mean, if you met any artist and you gave them a project to do, I guarantee you, if you asked them to do it, even if you didn't, well, I wouldn't say if you didn't pay them any money, but you're hoping that they would, they want to get paid obviously in one way or the other, but I think an artist would take on the challenge because they long for that challenge. They long for something to challenge them. And, for me, the challenge is to teach, or not teach, but to show you what I'm doing in this videos. I haven't really done this before, so. So again, I'm pulling from a lot of different colors, but when you see, they all kind of come together. These little lines that I'm drawing here kind of gives it shape, form, a little bit of depth. See these little lines that I might draw here, those kind of give it the form, the depth, especially when you draw a dark or the line, it'll just, see, when I did this here, it brought out this part. Yeah. It's hard to explain, it's just kind of neat when that happens, it just, so, like I said, I just put this here, a little bit of shadow, as if there's a groove inside the machine or the robot there. So by doing that, it brings out these two areas here. So it's amazing how just adding that little color, the darks, the lights, goes into each other. So I was looking at my timer. We are actually going to be calling this calling it a day, or calling quits on this video. I don't know how much we've actually accomplished, but we're starting to work on the chest area, starting to work on the arm, and I'm bringing this over here. So again, this does take a good amount of time, a good amount of effort, but I'm happy to see the progress coming along. I'm very happy with this one. Again, I'm trying to work these little bit areas, but I'm not overworking them. See, I don't want to keep messing with this part or something like that. Or if I do, I'm just going to touch it up a little bit. I'm just going to like redefine it, but maybe I'll go a little more here. But here is basically done. I mean, this is done. So you gotta, the thing to learn as an artist is to just say, I'm done. you just gotta, because you can easily overwork something. You can easily, and that's the challenges of watercolor. If you can kind of do it with, I used to work with chalk. I tried acrylics before, and I know you can go over acrylics and stuff, but you can probably go through a lot of paint, a lot of money, if you keep doing it like that. And but watercolor, you have to be very careful how much you go over a certain area, and be patient with yourself, be patient with the watercolor, be patient with the paper, be patient with all these things, and it'll happen in time. If you guys really desire to do something and you really want to have a creative desire to paint, I just encourage you so much. I mean, if anything comes out of this channels that I do, I hope that I'm encouraging you to paint and to want to just draw, paint, whatever you do. I mean, whatever you're at, just grab a piece of paper. If you can find yourself an art pad, if you can find yourself some paints, just go ahead and create, just draw. I mean, that's what I think this is going to give you, peace in your heart and mind to do this creativity. And I think it'll bring just a great comfort to you and to others around you to get to view those artworks. And then it'll take time. And be patient. So thank you for joining me today on the Spot, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And again, this is going to continue. I don't know how long, but like I said, it does take hours to get done. So I'm not really editing that much. I might be adding a little bit more next time you come in or something like that, but mostly I am doing it completely with you guys. You guys are watching while I'm doing my progress. So thank you. Sorry for the table, it's kind of messy here, but that's part of a progress of everything. So thank you for joining me today, and have a good day.